In this video, I want to make a case for long-term investing in the stock market. But I would love to say that this is not financial advice. Money is at risk. Past performances is not a guarantee for future or an indication for future returns. Okay, but there's one thing I want you to know. Data don't lie, right? Okay, so I believe if you lost money in the past in the stock market, it's probably because you've not done it right. Because I have not lost money in about 10 years now. So let's look at the data and see things so that you can see things for yourself. First of all, we look at a heat map that shows indication of past market performances in the last 1 year. So I'm making a case for long-term investing. So if the market is yet to open, you can see this is heat map for S&P 500, which is 500 most capitalized company in America. It's an indication of the general performance of the market. If you look at it, you've got sectors from finance to transportation to technology, consumer goods, medical, retail, business services, basic material, industrials, and utilities. These are the 11 sectors within the economy. And if you look at the heat map down here, anything that is deep red is -3, and more than -3. And anything that is very deep green is +3% and above. So market is here to open for today, so it's all grayed up. But let's look at the last 7 days. You can see that more than 90% of the company within the S&P 500 are in the negative in the last 7 days. So let's look at the last 30 days. You can see that we have more of them. Maybe let's say about 30% of them are in the positive in the last 30 days. Let's look at 180 days. You can see that it's becoming better. About, I would say roughly about maybe 80% of them are positive in the last 180 days. So let's assume you invested for about a year. You can see that close to almost 90% of the companies within the S&P 500 would have returned to you positively in the last 1 year. What if you look at the last 2 years, the last 3 years, or the last 5 years? What am I saying? The longer you invest in the market, the higher the probability that you will make money. For instance, imagine somebody who is a day trader. If you look at it at 70%, almost you can be 90% wrong. What if you look at it on a daily basis? You're probably 99% wrong. And so that's the reason why you don't gamble by doing day trading. Some people are successful at it, but you do it on a long-term basis where your chances are higher, regardless even of regardless of the company, regardless of what you've invested in. Education is required, guidance is required, but if you do it right, I believe you should be able to make positive income from the stock market. So let's look at more data. Let's look at return of S&P. I have record here from 1928 to year 2023, and that's a period of 95 years. This is saying it has returned an annual mean of 11.7%. And I think that's very impressive, though not considering inflation. That is very important. Let's look at the last 20 years. That's 2003 to date. If you look at 2003, up to now, you can see that 2008 is negative, then 2018 is negative, and 2022 was also negative. So that means, but if you look at the remaining years, you can see that it will have given you a positive return. And let's look at another index, and that's Nasdaq. Let's look at Nasdaq. If you look at Nasdaq will have returned to you historically in the last 37 years, an average of 18%. That's from 1986 to the year 2023. If you look at it, let's look at the last 20 years from 2023, you can see 49.6% in 2023. Again, year 2008, during the economic downturn, it was negative. 2018, marginally negative. And then year 2022 due to inflation was also negative. But the remaining part of the year, you can see that it will have returned to you a positively if you had invested. If you look at the graph we have here, if you put £1 in Nasdaq in 1986, it will have become like £100 now. The same thing if you look at the S&P 500 we just looked at a while ago. If you look at this is over a period of 95 years. You put £1 into invested in S&P 500 index in 1928, it will be over $10,000 today. If you look at it. So what am I saying is that history is on your side. The longer you stay invested in your position, the better the return. But you don't just invest in just anything. You must invest in credible companies. So let's take a dive into it again, and let's look at what you would have returned. Let's assume in year 2024, the current year. So S&P 500 year to date would have given you 22%. If you look at the last 1 year, that would be 39%, almost 40% that it will have returned to you. Let's look at Nasdaq. And let's look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq will have returned to you year to date 25%. In the last 1 year, talking about the last 1 year, 45%. And you can see this is very impressive. So again, you can see all the ups and downs. But at the end of the day, if you stay invested, you should not lose money investing in the stock market. So what are the things that you need to do? Number one, you need education. You might be an excellent doctor, an excellent engineer, can be an excellent economist or a professor or an IT engineer, whatever your chosen career, or a good lawyer, but there's a need for you to have education, financial education, especially when it comes to investing. Investing is not common sense. You need to know what to put your money into so you do not lose money. I think that is number one. Number two is that you need to be well diversified. Okay, it means if you look at the heat map I just showed us a while ago, you can look at it, look at all the sector of the economy. You can see in the level sectors of the economy, there's a need for you to invest in each and every of those sectors. And number three, uh, you need to be consistent. You need to dollar cost average into your position on a monthly or on a consistent basis as much as you can afford to do so. And then lastly, you need a lot of patience. Okay. And think what you don't need to listen to the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Don't invest in speculative stocks. Make sure you invest in reputable companies. And I can assure you that history is on your side. 95 years of history is on your side. As much as past performances are not indications of future return, but I can say that data don't lie and history is on your side. So do it right and you will benefit from the stock market. I'm a fan of the stock market. I've been investing for a while and I can show you how to do the same thing. Okay. See the link below. Follow this page for more and share with others. Thank you.